What's going on, boys? Welcome back to another woniu video. We got Bisu versus Soma once again. Really excited to be bringing you guys this match on the brand new maps today. A little bit of a change here. You can see that my face is on the screen right there, my little avatar there. The only reason that's up there is because there's a constant webcam image here. I'm not sure who that is, but I don't know if she wants to be in the video or not. Didn't get permission from her. Just permission from woniu to cover this series. So we're going to cover her up, and it's going to remain like that for the entire video. So just a heads up there, that's why that's there. I'm not trying to cover more of the screen for you guys, try to block your view or anything like that. I'm just covering it up for that reason. Bisu is over here in the top right hand corner. We got Soma down in the bottom right, and I think this could be potentially a finals. Really, Bisu has been playing out of his mind recently. He's just been absolutely smashing Zergs and Terran players. Whereas Soma, you know, previous seasons ASL champion, as well as just looking fantastic on Pro League and in other places as well. I just want to shout out the people who've been joining in on the Pro League videos recently. The Pro League live stream stuff has been awesome. It's been so much fun. I've really been enjoying it a lot, and we're going to continue to do it and continue to bring you guys that tournament. I just think it's really worth it. I think it's really fun to do, and you can't see it anywhere else. I mean, you can obviously watch it in Korean, but that was really the whole point of why I started this channel in the first place, is to bring you guys things that you couldn't really see in other places. You couldn't really see an English cast of them, so that's what I'm trying to do. That's kind of my mission here. The Chinese series is part of that. The Pro League is part of that, and I'm really happy that you guys are a part of that stream. By the way, today, kind of a mess when it came to KCM. The KCM release, when it came out, when the video came out, I know a lot of people were confused. The reason being that the audio on Shun was completely messed up. I have no idea what happened there. I still don't really know. We went over it on stream. It was kind of a funny thing on stream, because I woke up in the morning, I saw that the audio was messed up. I re-rendered the entire video, and then I put it back up again, and then started the stream. And people were saying that it was still messed up. So I went back in and redid it all over again. Like, each time, between the times, I checked to make sure that the sound was there, but for some reason after rendering it just was not there. So strange. It was in the editing software, but it just wasn't present in the video once it was rendered. So I was really confused, and it wasn't like a bunch of different audio files and one or two of them wasn't working. It was all one continuous audio file, and then parts of it weren't working. So I was so damn confused. I couldn't figure it out. I had to end up using my own audio, the audio that I recorded from the KCM. So eventually we did get it out there. Thank you guys for your patience. Hopping into this game now. I'm so sorry. We've got a Zealot. A little pressure here. Gateway expansion. This probe was actually hitting over the Zealots there, so adding a bit more DPS. Eventually this has been cleaned up, but Bisu managed to run out on the map and hide an extra Zealot. So he's going to go and hide that down at bottom center. Seems like someone will pick up on that. But maybe he can get another nice trade against the Lings. So reasonable moves from Bisu so far. Just making Soma's life a little bit more difficult and getting some critical information here before his Corsair comes out. I was saying before that I thought it could be possible that Bisu would make it into the finals. I don't know if he's like the second best player in the world right now, but I feel like him versus Soma in the finals would be so epic. It would be so fantastic. These guys are really evenly matched because Bisu is such a beast in this matchup. In fact, we watched him in Pro League today pull out and a clutch win versus Soma by just absolutely ramming it down on 3 bases, and we've seen him like very nearly die and then make some insane comebacks lately too. Best level comebacks are possible when Bisu is out here too. So I'm really excited for this matchup, guys. We got a full best of 7 here, and we're gonna bang it out right now. I got myself a beer. I'm chilling. It's the afternoon here in Okinawa. Got nothing left to do for the rest of the day. It's actually Valentine's Day today, but I'm going to do a Valentine's stream tomorrow for you guys. So that'll be fun as well. One overload goes down here in the main base. I don't see any Hydroden. So Soma not doing the double tech style for this game. He's just going to go a little bit more standard. Try to just get these hatcheries out as quickly as possible and utilize some Scourge to defend. I only see 2 gases here, so unlikely that he dives the main. I feel like against some Protoss players, that's really viable, but against Bisu is just so good with the Corsairs, man. That really is his unit. I think the unit that he uses better than anybody else. For Mini, like the 4 dragons, right? We got Mini. I think his best unit, the unit that most represents him, is probably the DT. Snow, of course, Reaver, Bisu. It's gotta be the Corsair, man. And best, I think it's the Zealot, honestly. The Zealot is representative of best, I think. Just pure momentum and just raw power. Always running it down with an extra round of units. I want to stick Rain in there as well, but Rain is just such a good all-arounder, and he really doesn't play as much. I'm not sure if you can consider him a dragon. I feel like I would get shit from Artosis for saying that, but it is what it is. Quite a few Scourge main here. Quite a few Mutas as well. Look at this. Is he actually going to go for the main? Bisu is out of position. He's not ready to defend this. Oh my gosh. He's just going to go straight in there. 2 cannons are present. No 3rd cannon. Here comes the Corsairs. There's got to be enough here to start to 2-shot these Scourge. So got to be careful with the engage. Not just diving in too recklessly, though. And look at this. Almost all the Mutas die just to the cannons. He only had enough Mutas to just barely beat those 2 cannons. So this is actually totally okay for Bisu. I think he read this perfectly. He just saw, like, hey, you really don't have that many Mutas, do you? Maybe I can just let most of the Mutas die to the cannons and then wait out your Scourge, make them leave by just not engaging. So this is very well played by Bisu. That's one of the things I think is his greatest strength, is his ability to read every situation in PvZ and just make the right calls. I don't think he's quite as good at macro as best. I don't think he's quite as good at micro as Snow, but he is fantastic in his deep understanding of this matchup, and that's shown through over the years, and it may be able to show through here in this best of 7, potentially in the ASL. Again, I would just love to see it in ASL finals with these 2 players. It would be so hype. Have we even seen Bisu in a finals yet? I don't think so. I don't think he's made it that deep, which is crazy. Kind of crazy, to be honest. Yeah, just thinking about that's kind of nuts. Same thing with Jaedong too, right? Jaedong hasn't been in the finals yet. I think it's a little crazier with Bisu because he's been playing pretty consistently for a long time in ASL. Anyways, DT sneaking out here. Corsairs backing up only a couple of hits there, so not able to get any actual kills. 10 Corsairs now. The number is getting a little bit unmanageable for Soma to try and surround and actually kill this Corsair ball. It would take an insane number of Scourge as well as Corsairs, or as well as Mutas, excuse me, to try and bait some shots. So it's going to be hard to delete those. Means that Bisu will eventually have air control here when he moves out. be able to defend his High Templars really successfully. Soma has double Hydroden here. Double Hydroden. He really wants to make a quick transition into a whole bunch of Hydras to try and come out and do something about this third base has just come out. The third base here is pretty powerful from Bisu. It's going to allow him to get into a huge number of gateways, and so someone wants to come in here, interrupt everything, interrupt the party, see what he can do to kill some of these probes. Here comes that first storm. One massive storm there. Some good connections here on the Scourge. Chinese casters going absolutely insane. Looks like only 2 Corsairs died. Okay, 1 more just went down there, actually. So down to, what is it, 7? 3 total Corsair kills for that many Scourge? I don't know, man. It's hard to make that worth it. It's really hard to make a fight like that worth it. With so many Scourge available, yeah, you can get on top of the Corsairs, but can you actually kill more than a couple? It's very hard to do. Very hard to split those. So Bisu actually takes, I would say, minimal damage from that. And a massive number of Corsairs or a massive number of Scourge just went down. So on the balance, I would say Bisu has a really good shot here. I think he's in a very good position with this third base already. Fourth base is coming up. Ooh, preemptive storm there. 1 High Templar goes down. The other High Templar spent its energy, so it's not nearly as scary. Need to keep these Corsairs active. Try to track down the Scourge and Mutas that are flying around. At least prevent more High Templars from dying. Just 1 is not such a big deal. He should have a few more popping out here. I think he's got 1 at the third base as well. A lot of Hydras on the field right now, but a 40 supply advantage. Oh, he's trying to loop around looking for some kills, but this is still a lot of Corsairs. I don't think he can get too many kills on the museum. Was that? Okay, that was the DT. Excuse me. DT does go down. Fourth base on the way for Bisu. Grabbing that. And Soma's fourth base isn't even online yet. That's crazy, man. 50 supply advantage pushing across the map now. A lot of that is in these Corsairs, but there's still Mutas. There's still quite a few Mutas to deal with. So this is going to be useful supply here. He can also try to dive on the Overlords once the army's fully engaged. The Mutas are trying to run past, maybe catch a High Templar or 2, but they get spotted by the Observer. So he's going to try and run through now, go after the High Templar here. 1 storm goes down. All the Mutalisks just evaporate. No lurkers here. What are the Corsairs doing? Oh my gosh, the Corsairs flying in is a little bit rough there. That's a lot of Dragoons left over. They're putting down a ton of fire, but I don't see any more storms here. Where are the storms to follow this up? No more storm from Bisu, and so he will be forced back. Little bit rough here for Bisu. Losing quite a few Dragoons there and making not much progress. Down to just 90 supply, though. Soma does not have any drones on the fourth base. That's crazy. No fourth base drones at all. So he's sitting here on 4 base to 4 base. And unless he just wipes this army right now, I think he's going to get completely overwhelmed by Bisu here, is just continuing to press forward. A lot of these Dragons are going to die. A lot of High Templars are going to die too, in fact. Yeah, this is kind of painful. He loses a lot of that army. I don't think that Soma can immediately counterattack per se, but maybe he can get enough drones over to that 4th. Maybe he can get a 5th base online and operational as well and try to take this longer. It's going to take a while for Bisu to replenish all of these Dragoons and all of this army. So in the meantime, Soma trying his best to get these bases online, but he's losing Overlords. Oh man, 103 of 72. Brutal. 103 of 72. He can't make anything. And Bisu is bursting ahead in supply. 157 back home. Oh, big round of Corsairs just popped, or big round of Mutas just popped out, chasing down these Corsairs. Excuse me. He's gonna try to run back to the safety of some Dragoons. And takes quite a bit of damage on these mutas. So I think there's a chance here for someone to dive some of these High Templar. Not very many Corsairs here to try and defend those. Here's the opportunity right now for someone. He's going to dive on top. One storm goes down. He's going to kill one of his own High Templar with that storm. Pushing forward now. I think he's got maybe 1 to 2 more storms here on these High Templar. 1 High Templar, 2 High Templar there. Following behind this army, Bisu shoving everything back, but he's gonna lose another High Templar here to the mutas, and another one goes down as well. Bisu trying to storm his own High Templar just to get rid of those mutas, but it's not working out well. He's 70 supply ahead, but he's got no storms. No storms to speak of, and he doesn't want to throw. He does not want to throw this game away, so he's waiting on more storms. He's giving Soma some more time. He's allowing him to buy some time to get a few more units out. 800 gas in the bank right now for Soma. I don't think he has any lurkers right now. He's just desperately hoping that he can fight this with pure Hydralisk and a few Mutalisks to try and snipe these High Templar. There's a couple of great storms here in the middle of this army, and the supply differential is starting to show. Soma is being shoved back, and I believe this 4th base will end up going down. He's going to go right up onto this high ground. A DT in bottom left, clearing out these drones. 10 kill DT down in the bottom left has just wiped out the chances of Soma. And another base over here. What did I say, guys? Look at how powerful Bisu is right now. GG bashes through the world champion, the ASL champion in game number 1. Game number 2, I want to give a big shout out to our Chinese partners, woniu, and his team. Even, you know, they kind of made the text on the screen a little bit smaller, too. I love that. Not quite as covering here of the action, which is great. Making some nice improvements there. Love to see it. Big shout out to them. We really appreciate what they do and allowing us to provide you guys with an English cast. That is absolutely awesome. Looks like Soma opening with a overpool, I believe. Overpool here. And so, playing on Neo Sylphid, just wants to be a bit safe. Just wants to make sure that he's not getting too blocked up by Bisu. He's not going to feel too much pressure. If you put for example, a gateway, an early gateway in the natural, you can rally a zealot very quickly on this map. So wants to make sure he's not under that kind of pressure. Soma going down to bottom left to take a base. So he's actually going to put his 3rd down here, which might become a little bit problematic. We'll see. That's very close to the Protoss space. Forge Nexus from Bisu. He's setting up a very modern natural here by placing the forge a little bit further back, so he can place cannons on either side, on top and bottom of that forge, to make sure that in order to kill the forge and actually deny the upgrade, you absolutely have to full commit to killing a bunch of cannons to make that happen. Can't just stand at the edge and use a bunch of Hydras to kill that forge for free. He's getting set up here for the potential of a Hydralisk bust, and that'll be in the back of his mind for sure as he micros this probe around, trying to gather whatever information he can. Also, on the top of his mind, Ling all in. Very powerful on this map. There's a lot of space over that gateway that you can slip past. You need like a Dragoon to cover that area, to block that in. Dragoons are big backed enough, they can absolutely choke up that area, but Zealots will not be sufficient. Looks like Soma allows the probe to get in, actually. It's a little bit surprising. He just lets that sneak in. He's got a Ling in the bottom right-hand corner, I think. What's happening there? Bottom right-hand corner of his base. He had a Ling there. I think he was like checking, or what was he exactly doing? I'm not sure. Anyways, we've got a layer here. Bisu's fully aware. He sees it. He knows where. He knows what's going on. Soma likewise is in the natural. He's got the Overlord there, and it should be safe. At least for the moment. Take some damage. He could actually build a Dragoon here and try to kill that. It might not be a bad idea. Build a Dragoon, kill that Overlord in the front, and then go kill the one in the main. Might be all right. I don't see a Stargate. I think the Stargate's right over top of the cybernetics core there, but it looks a little small. I wonder if that's a Citadel. Probably not. Probably not. We'll have to get a shot of the main here in a bit. I don't think that's what Bisu would want to do, especially when Soma was able to go all the way in and scout the main. Doesn't seem that likely. Spire on the way here. I don't see a Hydralisk Den, so that's very interesting to see Soma not sticking with that build. That build where he puts down the Hydralisk Den and the Spire. Run by here into the natural, into the main. There it is. There is a Stargate, and a Citadel here in the main base. Bisu has his Templar Archives on the way, and sending out the Corsair to get some confirmation about what's going on the map. He's actually finding an Overlord right now, trying to finish that off. Another probe almost goes down, close, but no cigar. Gonna have to keep running around here in the main, trying to get those kills. Zealots moving out right now, actually catching some of these Lings, taking quite a bit of damage there on the Lings before they even started attacking. It looks like Bisu will win this fight, just barely. Okay, a few more Lings arrive, and it looks like he will actually lose just at the end there with 2 Lings remaining. All the Zealots have been taken out, and so the pressure is going to let off a little bit here. It finds 2 more Overlords in the top right. Where are the Scourge right now? Did he get supply blocked and unable to make Scourge for a moment? I'm not sure. He doesn't see the, or I think he saw that Overlord, but maybe he thinks that he doesn't have time to go deal with that. Bunch of Mutas pop out. Interesting. Is he going to try to Mutalisk all in this main base? He was running around in the main for quite some time, and this third is very close. Very close indeed to that main, so you can rally Scourge and Mutas to the main base very quickly. Oh, he's only got 1 cannon done at this moment. Diving on top, hitting a lot of these Corsairs. 1 goes down, 1 very low on HP. DT in here, 4 kills. Oh my gosh, 4 kills before the Sunken Colony finishes it off. That's brutal. Huge amount of damage over at this third base. Soma struggling here. He wasn't really able to get much out of that. 2 cannons are now done. He can add a third as well. Another DT sliding in over towards this base. I think he'll send that as... Okay, no, he loses it. Huge. Soma gets rid of that right now. He's revealed his hand, though, I think, that he's continuing with this attack, that he's going to keep trying to dive here. That's definitely a fact. Making an Archon at the natural, definitely a good idea. Corsairs coming forward here to try to fight. Can he actually take on these Mutas right now? Gonna have to do some flick shot micro. Ooh, there's a nice flick shot from Bisu, putting a bit of damage onto these and encouraging Soma to take his leave. He pushes him back, and Bisu will stabilize for now. It's not looking great for Soma. I can't lie to you guys. This is looking a little rough. Soma needs to get more damage here. He needs to clear the Mutalisks out, or clear the Corsairs out as well, man. If he doesn't get rid of these Corsairs, no, he can't get rid of the Corsairs either. 6 Corsairs, it means that he's not going to be able to rely on Mutalisk defense. He'll have to switch into Hydras and rely on Sunkens to try and hold everything. Meanwhile, Zealots are already here. Archon is already here. This Archon can attack the drones, which means you can't really defend with drones. Can't really drone drill this army and try to stop it. He's diving now onto these sunken colonies. The Zealots are dying, but they're doing so much damage, and this Archon tanking so much. It finally does go down. Corsairs going on a rampage. There's hardly any drones at that third base. He's barely able to mine there. 20 supply behind, and he's also supply blocked at just 45. So Soma's struggling mightily at this moment. 4 Hydras on this high ground. At least 4 Zealots are present, so he should be able to come forward, but he actually turns around and starts to run away, backing up to the safety of his natural. 2 cannons only here for Bisu, but all these Zealots coming in from behind should be able to fight this pretty successfully. He tries to bottleneck the Zealots as best he can, and it's actually doing all right here, but he can't fight all of these. They have too much health, they've got too much DPS, and these Hydras are going to be pushed back. Bisu can come down here to this high ground now and really start to ravage the overlords at this third base. I'm surprised he's not sending them in right now. Zealots are going to have to back away here. But they could just run defense, run a distraction right now for the Corsairs to deal their damage. High Templar trying to move forward. They're not being escorted right now by Corsairs. He's got to get the Corsairs over here to try and defend these. He's bringing them into position now, backing up, moving forward. Bisu can't decide whether he wants to go or not. 40 supply advantage. He's ready to go, ready to push in now. Bisu, all his army together. Can he actually crack Soma on this high ground right here, right now? The flank, he dives in. I believe 1 High Templar went down, but that's it. 1 High Templar. There's still 3 whole High Templar. I don't think he got even 1, actually. 3 High Templar here with a ton of storm. How do you hold this high ground? It's almost impossible. He's going to try to flank this army as it's coming up the ramp. Maybe he can make something happen. Maybe he can spread his Hydras and try to get little kills here, but no, everything being shoved back. He cannot hold, he cannot stop this army, and GG, just like that. Bisu, all of a sudden, 2-0. Well, I didn't expect that the best of 7 between Soma and Bisu would be starting off like this, 2-0 for our Protoss champion. Putting the ASL champion through his paces. Soma in the top left on Octagon, Bisu in the top right now. We haven't seen any attempt at a Nexus first or any sort of cannon play yet. I expect at least 1 game of a cannon rush from Bisu. I think that Soma struggles against that play. He seems a little bit weaker than some of the other Zergs against cannon rush. But that's not something that, like, it's impossible for him to polish up his game on. I think that's a temporary, perhaps, weakness. The game that should be filled in pretty quickly. Like, let's say if your weakness is late game macro, that could take years to try and perfect, right? But the micro, when it comes to dealing with cannons, I think a few days with a really good Protoss player, just letting you know what's up, helping you to practice and prepare, I think he can pretty quickly give you the download on how to deal with that. So we'll see if Bisu gives that a try at any point here. For now, forge into Nexus, because sticking with the overpool, Soma, maybe just completely denying the potential of cannon by doing this. Maybe gonna deny it for the rest of the game. Like, for the rest of the series, you don't have to hatchery first if you're Soma, right? It's not expressly necessary to try and get away with a hatchery first. And that's really the only way that a Protoss player can try to cannon rush you, is if you go for that type of play. If you try to get a little bit greedy with the opener, then there's that possibility. But if Soma just plays Overpool for all 7 games, he can completely avoid that outcome. That potential from Bisu, which it might be a reasonable decision if he does feel like he's got a bit of a weakness to things like cannon rush. Anyway. Soma, is it time to mix things up now? Is it something like a 4 hatch play into Hydralisk? Does he want to go into Mutas again? Keep trying that style versus Bisu, who's shown a lot of resilience against that. I'm curious. I'm very curious. Now, talking about this map here, Octagon, you've got these big ridges around the map, would play a huge role in this matchup. The way in and out of the Octagon is kind of a gateway that can be well defended by lurkers, hydras, and Scourge. But once that's broken, it becomes a great pushing off place to attack the Zerg player from. Once the Protoss steals that high ground away, it becomes very hard to knock them off of it. And it can start to cut off supply and units cycling between the bases. So expect that area to play a really key role in this game. And once you start to take multiple bases, like let's say you go to bottom left. Oh, he sneaks by 1 Ling. That will end up dying, though. Once Soma takes, for example, bottom left, then he'll have to hold the upper left part of the Octagon and the bottom left part of the Octagon at the same time. Those 2 angles, he's going to have to set up lurker containments on. Assuming that he's not able to get over to Bisu's side of the map and contain him on his high ground. But if we end up in a situation like that, Bisu's going to have to choose one or the other to try and skirmish with or try to break. And then the other side can actually come around and start to flank. The middle of the map is so wide open that it's really difficult to push one of those high grounds, one of those ridges as Protoss, without getting flanked and absolutely surrounded. So we'll see how Bisu deals with that. We'll see how Soma executes that surround if it comes to kind of a longer game here. If we end up getting to, you know, 3, 4, 5 bases on either side, we may end up getting into a situation like that. For now, Soma just getting into his normal style of play, just getting into his normal game. I'm so surprised we're not seeing that cross stack in any of these games yet. Okay, there's actually the Hydralisk end, so that's a pretty early Hydra den. Maybe he wants to cross stack here. Maybe he wants to try to hit a pre-9-minute timing. I was thinking maybe, you know, he might be trying to throw Bisu off by not doing this. Maybe so it becomes more powerful later on. Or maybe he feels like Bisu is just too strong against that style. Maybe he thinks that he's not going to be able to pull it off. It's really hard to say here. Soma for now, adding on more Lings, checking out what Bisu's up to with the Scourge. What's that in the natural? Is that an extra gateway or an extra Stargate? I don't think it's an extra Stargate. I think that's an extra gateway there. Pretty common nowadays to put an extra gateway in your natural, so that if necessary, you can build 2 High Templar in your natural and then warp them into an Archon next to the cannon. If you've got all your gateways in the main, then it can be hard to get 2 High Templar together to make that Archon and push back into your main base if it gets taken over. Ooh, that was close. Bisu turnaround just in the nick of time. Here comes the Hydras now. More cannons being made. This is a dangerous moment here. There is a DT But the Overlord is present. Here comes the Zealot to try and push this back. He really should be going after the Overlords here, but in fact, there is Overlord speed, so that could be a problem. Gonna try instead to counterattack, sending in the DT while killing off as many Overlords as he can. This DT is gonna get so much damage. Oh my gosh, he's killing all the Overlords. All the Overlords are going down. And 4 kills, 5 kills, 6 kills in the natural. He's going into the main as well, looking for more Overlords here. Totally distracting Soma during this bust. It is that pre 9-minute bust, but he completely blocks him out. Dude, Bisu is on fire. Bisu is on fire here, absolutely slapping down this play that's been eviscerating every single Protoss player in the world for the past half year. Oh my god, it's crazy. Bisu is so good right now. Wow, what a curveball that Bisu has just thrown to us here right before the ASL. Imagine if he takes out Soma 4-0 right here, right now. What a statement he would be making with a play like that. What a smackdown. I mean, you might be thinking, it's whatever, it's a best of 7 in kind of a show match. Doesn't really matter that much. Dude, Soma is trying his ass off right now. It's not like he's phoning it in here and not caring. These guys that have made it to the highest level, they have a level of competitiveness that most of us, we just don't have it. These guys live to win in this game, man. They play so hard to just try and discover how to take games. It's not like this is just a ladder series, guys. This is for real money. This is a best of 7. Bisu is getting in Soma's head right now if he takes him out. 4-0 right here, right now. It would be a massive upset. Not only to the viewers, but also to the mental state here of Soma. If he's just not able to take a single game off of Bisu and completely outplayed in this series, it would be so crazy, man. Like, after all the hype that's been made around Soma and his style, not only by me, but by so many casters and players out there, everyone's trying to figure out how are we actually supposed to counter the way that Soma plays. How is it possible for Protoss to even win against a player like Soma? Here's Bisu just showing us the way once again. He's always been an innovator of Protoss. He's always been that guy who showed how you can play in PvZ. You know, inventing the, or at least popularizing and refining all of the most iconic styles and build order openers of Protoss. The Forge Fast Expand, the Gateway First. This guy's been at the cutting edge of Protoss forever, and he may be just changing the matchup once again. He might be showing us the way here, guys. Other players are going to be taking notes, man. You hear that Bisu somehow managed to 4-0 Soma? Other players are going to want these replays. Other players are going to be watching intently, especially people like Bisu, or like Best and Snowman. We've been struggling a lot with Soma's play. Let's see if Soma can start to run this back, though. We're not at that 4-0 yet. And he's managed to get rid of this probe a little bit early on. He's going to be able to hide his build ever so slightly. We're here on Attitude. It's a very big map. Lots of space here, kind of a polypoid-esque map with some unique features. But in general, kind of similar to that map with gas bases at 3, 6, 9, and 12, and then the thirds are mineral onlys. And so Soma took the third base over here at the bottom, or at the center right. Oh, wait. Okay. That makes sense. His buildings look so similar. I thought they were the same building and something crazy was happening, but Spire and Hydralisk Den, very standard right now for Soma. This is the way he loves to play. Wouldn't expect anything else from him here, but Bisu has shown that it is possible to beat. That is not, it's certainly not impossible to find a way around this. To break it apart and undermine it. Will he be able to do so once again here? As Soma gets into his first couple of Scourge. I think those are in the eggs now. It should be popping out soon. Additional hatcheries coming up here, and it looks like a 5 hatch. Once again, into Scourge, which will transfer itself into a Hydralisk bus, most likely. See, he sees the main, he sees the Hydralisk Den. Bisu is fully aware, going to be pulling everything back now. Try to keep these Corsairs alive. One Overlord at top left. Probably not going to be able to find that. Even if he did, the Corsairs might end up losing their lives because of the Scourge. DT sliding out on the map. Potential for more Scourge here. Hydras on the way. So he's actually just going to start making a lot of Hydras. Can he come across and actually bust? Can he break into Bisu? Trying to catch this. Can he get behind it? Oh, barely not able to get the Lings on the other side of that DT. That was a slick move from Soma. If he could have flanked that DT, got behind it with the Lings, potential to just kill that off outright and then remove that potential damage. That DT run by from the future. Bisu keeping that danger alive. 2 DTs out here. This is how I saw some of these other players kind of dealing with this. Like Mini, I think, was the first guy I saw trying to do this style of play where you sneak out the DT really quickly here. To be able to come out and scout everything, to see everything that's going on, and at least try to identify if more Hydras are being made. If Hydras are coming across the map, so they can make the requisite cannons to defend against it. Bisu pushing forward now. Putting on some more pressure. Looks like more and more drones are being made. Soma going up to the full, I think, 45 drones here with 6 hatch Hydra production. Is not decided to try and break pre 9 minutes here. He's abandoned that style of play, rather opting for a more normal opener, just with a faster Hydralisk Den. That's it. Getting the few Scourge, pushing back the Corsairs, and then starting to produce Hydras so that he can defend everything up properly while droning. 4th base on the way. Soma wants to go wide. It's very clear here. Soma wants to go for a much bigger game on Attitude. He's not interested in trying to get aggressive just yet. He wants to take Bisu to a late game and see if he can't overwhelm him, potentially with Hive. We haven't seen that Hive yet, so it would be nice to get a Hive game here. Bisu, not afraid of that style, man. He is totally capable of taking on any Zerg player out there with that late game army, and coming back from some pretty rough positions as well. Once he gets that 4th base, he's like kind of crazy how long he can just keep pumping units and keep the pressure on the Zerg player. Sometimes we see 5 base Protoss, or 5 base Zerg, 6 base Zerg crumble to the 4 bases of Bisu. Even once, you know, his first 2 bases are mined out, just mining off those 2 bases and keeping the pressure on until the original 3, the first 3 bases of Zerg start to mine out. And they have to rely on those brand new expansions to keep their economy rolling, to keep their production pumping. We'll see if it comes to that in this game, because the 3rd base is coming up. It's about to go online here for Bisu. Likely he'll take the bottom center after that, but he doesn't necessarily have to. He could try to take center left as well. Both are options here. Might be a little harder to defend the center left, but depends. Hard to say. Here comes the probe down here to the bottom center. Overlord spotting that. Will end up going down. Supply blocking Soma for the time being. There's the 4th base immediately. 11-minute 4th base here from Bisu. Pretty aggressive 4th base there, and I don't see a Queen's Nest out of Soma just yet. If Bisu just locks down these 4 bases and just stays defensive, I don't know if Soma can really do too much about it. The DT going to be targeted down. That goes down very quickly. Cannons on the high ground. Couple of High Templar are going to be sniped here by Soma. Bisu spreading out, trying to cover all of these areas. A lot of lurkers have been made. Trying to get a few more cannons up on that high ground over at the 4th base. 3 cannons here might not be enough. It would be nice to make maybe a pylon wall at the top of that ramp too. Kind of hard for Hydras and lurkers to push up a ramp like that. Oh, the Hydras are stuck here behind that one Hydra on the ramp. No way. He's got to get this moving. He's really relying on a timing here to bring everything together and try to crush Bisu before this 4th base really kicks online. He doesn't have a hive coming, man. He's going to battle Zerg it. A 5th base is on the way. But he's kind of peaking right now. He's hitting 150 supply pretty early on. He's just 20 supply behind the Bisu right now. And he's got a pretty strong army with all the lurkers that he just made. He used all of his gas to make lurkers. He's starting to build that up again now, but he's got to, kind of wants to make a move here, I feel. He wants to put on some pressure. He wants to push. Gonna move forward these lurkers now. Try to spread them out. Gotta be really careful with these. That's like a massive amount of gas that's been pumped into those lurkers. So if you end up running in and just getting stormed in a clump, the efficiency is absolutely incredible for Bisu. So looking for a fight, but not an inefficient fight here if he can help it. Okay, Bisu started to move forward a little bit too far. He's actually going to collapse on this immediately. Look at all these lurkers on the left-hand side. I don't see any storms landing on those, and the zealots are coming out as well, trying to defend this. Dude, did Bisu just mess up? He could have just stayed back and been a little bit more defensive. I think he would have been completely fine. Soma got so many kills with those lurkers and didn't eat the massive storms that I was expecting. Soma running forward now with even more lurkers getting into this position. Bisu finally moves back into the defensive position he had earlier, but he gets sniped. One of his storms gets sniped. Another High Templar gets sniped on the left-hand side as well. Oh my gosh, Bisu's completely fallen apart here. He's completely messed this up. The lurkers on the left side are going to die, but he's getting up onto this high ground. He's going to be able to hit that nexus from the left-hand side, and all the Dragoons are falling right now. The Hydras are busting through. A few more Dragoons are going to pop out here, but it's just not going to be enough, I feel. Hydra's heading over to the high ground now. Going to get up here, try to crack this 4th base. Zealots trying to do their best to slow things down as the Dragoons come to support, but there's some eggs on the ramp here now. Blocking this out, gonna allow him to just target this Nexus, and that actually should be GG. With the Nexus going down, there's almost no way to bring this one back. He's trying his best to get up here into position in time. No, the Dragoons just can't get up here and deal their DPS in time. And so that does indeed fall. Bisu in a really rough spot now. What a blunder moving out at that moment. That was such a shame for Bisu. He was absolutely in a great spot. He was just waiting for Soma to come into him, like just kind of asking Soma to move forward into one of these chokes, but Soma wasn't giving it to him, and instead Bisu just kind of came out against it. I'm really shocked that he made that decision, but it's cost him massively. Soma now coming through with a massive army. He's going to try and shove it down through this choke. There should be a high tempo with a couple of storms here. That's a great storm. Massive storm in the midst of all of these Hydras, but there's so many Hydras to follow this up. Some more Zealots come up. Zealot's going to come to try to assist here. Dragoons are still getting a lot of damage. That's another great storm. Oh my gosh. Is Bisu going to hold right now? Look at how bad this fight was for Soma trying to bust through that position. And imagine if he had tried to round that down earlier. If Bisu hadn't come out, how hard would it have been for Soma to get that earlier fight, to get an actual reasonable and efficient fight against Bisu's army tucked away behind this corner. And that's what I talked about, the interesting geography of this map is that wall that kind of splits the third base and the fourth base from the natural. This wall just to the north. It's not like it's in the way, but if you're trying to attack into the third, it's like a barrier forcing you into two different tight corridors that are very stormable. And instead of going up into, 5-base hive and just trying to play it out in a long game, Soma really wanted to take a fight. He really wanted to try and shut down Bisu there. He's succeeded in at least destroying the main part of the army and actually getting rid of both of the bases for a moment. But Bisu has recovered for the most part, and Soma has taken the opportunity while Bisu was recovering to try and get into that hive and to switch up the play, go for that late game, and I think he's going to be successful. We're going to have a great game here, guys. We're going to have a really solid one now with everything that's happened here. We are going to go to hive. We are going to go to a very late game, and Bisu is starting to try and push. Soma's trying to take top left. This army in the center is a little bit precarious. It seems like there's going to be a massive flank, but this thing in the middle, this whatever donut in the middle of the map is actually making it pretty hard for him to approach. The High Templars here at the back, they need to cast their storms. He's not really casting them. He's instead trying to focus on the flanking army here and killing it as quickly as possible. He did manage to get some good storms on the flanking Hydras, but the Hydras coming up from the right-hand side were able to get quite a few High Templar kills as well as Dragoons, and he might get even more. No, not quite able to do it there. Even on supply now, though, Soma should be spamming out a lot of lings here shortly as the crackling upgrade comes online. +2 armor is done as well. He's coming forward to try and fight this. A few zealots here at the front trying to block and keep these dragons alive, but the flank of lurkers is really painful. He's going to lose everything here to that splash damage. Another couple storms can go down, but the main portion of the army has been destroyed, and Bisu will be on the retreat. What is he to do from a position like this? He hasn't been able to deny top left. He's lost the bulk of his army, dropping below supply to where Soma's at. A 5th base may be necessary, but honestly, in a lot of these situations, Bisu prefers to just make it happen with 4. He seems to just buckle down and just keep smashing out army and trying to keep the pressure on. He doesn't like to try to take that 5th when he feels like he's behind. Just try to get it done with what he's got. And so we're going to see another army come out here very soon from Bisu, and we're going to see him try to come across and do what he does best, just storm this army to death. Let's see if Soma can block this, because he's rapidly moving into position over here on the left hand, or on the right hand side of the map, trying to cut off his movement over here towards that third base, chopping down some of these High Templars as well. He gets one High Templar for quite a few Hydras there. A reasonable trade, because he's really going to need these efficient storms to make this fight work. So removing any of that storm, pretty well worth it here for Soma. He's looking to be in a position almost unlosable at this point. Very hard now for Bisu to break any of this stuff. Very hard for him to take a good engage. There's so many different weak points right now for Bisu. The flank is going to be really strong. High Templars going down here through some sniping is going to be really hard to deal with. Of course, you got the observers as well. Those are going to be big targets of Soma in a position like this. Nothing sent to top left. It's a shame that Bisu didn't send 5 zealots over to that area to try and deny that base. I don't know if he even knows about it right now. He hasn't really scouted top left or bottom right. Sniping a couple more High Templars here. Gets one more High Templar down. Trading off a few storms for some army, but each and every time it seems like Soma's able to pick up a High Templar as well, so really evening out these trades. Lurkers coming in from behind, but they're just kind of on a move command. I'm not sure what they're doing over there. Some zealots try to sneak in over towards this third, but he sees how much is here, plus the Nidus Canal. Pushing forward, going to get on top of some of these Lurkers, get quite a bit of good damage onto them as well. Coming forward here. Keeping the pressure on, just keeping the pressure on, leaning on the Zerg a little bit by little bit, trying to keep reinforcing this army before he makes a break and a move to one of these bases. Diving right now straight towards the third. Let's see if he can actually break this. Oh, the fourth, excuse me. The fourth base is under threat. This mineral only might be the location. It might be the break in the armor here for Soma. Flank of Lurkers, but an amazing storm lands on 3 of those immediately. He's gunning down so many of these Lurkers, but he's losing the bulk of his army. And in fact, only a few Dragoons left. GG is called. Soma starts the run back here with a win on Attitude. Excellent, excellent game. A great game there, but hard to deny that a massive mistake was made by Bisu moving out in that situation. He was pretty comfortably mining on 4 base economy. And we didn't have any sort of hive coming for Soma, so the position was very difficult, tactically speaking, for Soma. Even though he had a big army, shoving it through into the natural or to the third was going to be very rough. But Bisu gave him a golden opportunity. He took it. He rolled with that lead and managed to come out ahead. Glad to see Soma fighting back here in this series. I still think Bisu is looking better, though. That was undeniably a mistake. I think that Bisu will be able to close up in the future. He'll be able to avoid in the future for sure. Finally, a hatchery first. Gonna fake a cannon rush here. Definitely a good idea to just go ahead and fake this. He is going for a gateway first, so that's not going to be the plan. But forcing a couple of drones off the line, certainly worth it here. Soma taking it super seriously by having 1 extra drone sitting off the line, not mining here. He finally sees the gateway, realizes that this is completely fake, and so we'll get back to mining. But this is some good back and forth between these two already here. I'm glad to see Soma respecting the Forge possibility, respecting the possibility of Cannon Rush. by keeping that extra drone off the line. I really do want to see Bisu cannon rush at least one time in this series, though. Maybe next game, since he's seen that Soma is willing to go for that hatch first. First Zealot coming into the main. Probe is here as well. Okay, Zealot gonna back off. Probably a good idea. The eggs are about to hatch anyway. They'll probably end up just dying. Might want to go behind the minerals. No, he's actually going to back all the way up. Just going to go home here. Wow. Plenty of links made in order to push this back. And so Bisu just sending the Zealot home. This works out fantastically well for him. Like, he forced the reaction from the drone. Whoa, 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 whoa. That's a rally. That's a bad rally. Oh my god, the bad rally here from Bisu going to cost him huge. There's no way. He had this kind of locked down right here. I'm shocked to see Bisu make this elementary of a mistake. This is really painful. Oh my gosh, another Zealot here going to get completely surrounded. You're kidding me. He loses it. Oh man. Dude, this is so painful. Sorry about the window sounds, guys. That's not me. That's not you either. That was the Chinese casters making those sounds in the background. It's also the sound that you're hearing, which is key clicking. Key clicking as well. And clicking from the mouse, that's not me. I've got my microphone dialed in. You guys are never going to hear me clicking away or doing anything like that. Background noise canceled out, so don't worry about that. But not quite so here for the Chinese casters. Maybe I can mess with the audio a little bit. I just had an idea. I'll try to do something a little extra here for this cast to try and lower that as well. We'll see how it goes, guys. I'm always trying to think of ways to improve the streams. And so I'm always open to suggestions. Even if they don't make sense. I know we get a lot of suggestions that don't make sense as well. But if you think you have something that can improve the stream, if there's a tournament out there that you'd like to see cast in English, you don't see it cast in English, let me know as well. But for now, look at this. Zealot's gonna get up on this ramp. Drone drill looking pretty sweet. One drone goes down though. The probe right here actually helping out a lot. Oh my god, so much damage. So much damage from these Zealots now. About 4 drones just went down there. The probe helping out a ton. This Zealot gonna make it over to the 4th as well. Bisu absolutely making up for the mistakes in the early game. That's a great surround. Great surround there, actually, to kill off that Zealot with just 2 lings and a bunch of drones. And Soma stabilizes a little bit faster than I actually thought he would, managing to hold that back and stabilize in a bit of a chaotic situation. Has, however, been revealed that the Hydra Den is done, though, and that there's a big potential for another 8-minute bust. The pre-storm timing may be coming through here once again. Gonna be scouting that main base with the Corsair, getting an Overlord as well. Pretty annoying here for Soma to eat that damage. Stuck at 35 of 35. But should have some Scourge on the way. Scourge gonna pop out here soon. And will he actually go for some Hydralisk? Is he actually gonna try to bust once again? Or are we gonna see me the Scourge, the tool of choice? Hard for Bisu to figure out what's coming. Doesn't really have an easy way to scout right now. Is he gonna add extra cannons? Is he going to cannon the mineral lines? It's hard to say what's the right choice right now. I think I'd like to see him put the cannon more closer to the gas, to the bottom of this nexus. Kind of defend the mineral line and potentially be a help against a Hydralisk bust if that's what's coming. He does manage to push away the Lings there. So he could slip a Zealot out to the south, go scout what's going on, but he's not doing that for the moment. Here comes the Hydralisk. Extra cannon on the way. Looks like it is indeed going to be another 8-minute attack. Does he have a DT popping out here soon? Here comes some more cannons. He might get busted by this. Soma on the warpath coming across very quickly. A lot of these Zealots dying. DT is out, but it can't slip by again. He can't get the DT past once more. Is he going to be able to pull probes in time? Because he's going to dive now. Diving on top of the cannon. First cannon about to fall. First cannon does go down. DT in the mix. Target fire on that DT is good. Target fire on that DT finishes it off. One cannon done. Second cannon finishing up. Third cannon is done now. Second cannon dead. Third cannon dead. One cannon left. Zealot pops out just barely blocking up this entrance. He's holding on for his life right now. Can he actually keep alive with all these Hydras coming in? I don't think it's going to be possible. There's the first High Templar, but a cannon at the bottom is going to go down. A few more warping in, a few more probes pulled off the line. It's hard now to dive on these cannons when they're behind the wall, but he can back up. He can kill the probes. He can kill the wall and get ready for another dive. Storm should be done any second here. 2 cannons is all he's got, though. With just 2 cannons, very hard to see Bisu holding on. A lot of probes have been killed as well. He's got hardly anything in this natural. More cannons being made. Where's the storm? 9-minute 30. He should have storm. I feel like he's forgotten it. Yeah, Bisu forgot storm. Well, that's a shame. Bisu gonna have to tap out. GG. There it is. Bisu taps out of game number 5, guys. Game number 5 going to Soma, and he's starting to bring it back, man. He's starting to break Bisu here and run it back on him. All right, brothers. Here it goes. Game number 6. What an epic match. What a fantastic battle between these two Titans here. Bisu in the bottom left. Soma in the top right on Heartbreak. No, sorry. Match point. I'd love to see Heartbreak Ridge back in the meta, by the way, or in the map pool in some form. I don't want to see it like the original Heartbreak Ridge. I don't think that would be particularly good, but it would be cool to see Heartbreak Ridge in maybe an updated form at some point in the future. Feels like the modus operandi for the ASL for Soup right now is to add one kind of crazy map, like one map where they're really going out there. 1 or 2 maps that have been proven recently, and then 1 map that's like from the past, a historical map to throw it in for some nostalgia. I really feel like that's the new norm for Soup. We've seen that pattern start to emerge here, so we'll see if that continues. I think it's great, honestly. I think they're doing a fantastic job with the way they're choosing these maps. I'm very happy with the new map pool. I'm really excited for Jane Doe and how it's turning out. I think they were way off base when they were doing things like putting in 76 and stuff like that. That was too much, man. It was way too much. But I appreciate that they've pulled it back a little bit, you know? They're just they've kind of hit their stride right now, I feel like, and that's fantastic to see. Some probes are going to be pulled here. 6 Lings are making their way across the map, so there is a possibility that he could try to make a run by happen here. That's what the 3 probes are for. Okay, Overlord taking a lot of damage. Gonna be fine though. Usually what you want to do is just send directly to the right. Like let's say you're in a situation like that, what we just saw with the cannon hitting the Overlord. If you head in a direct straight line to the right or left or up or down, you'll actually get out of the range faster than if you try to head at an angle. It's kind of a weird thing about Brood War. Heading at an angle will actually lose you an Overlord in a case like that. If it's very close, you definitely want to head in a straight line. Oh my god, he's going to dive. Oh, can he actually get past here? He's going to get like one Ling past. Okay, two Lings managed to make it through. Not bad, not bad. He kills a probe. He gets 2 Lings in. Soma can definitely do some damage with that. Zealot's going to be sent back here. By the way, that was not you or me. That was the Chinese gestures, again, with the window sound. I don't know what's up with that. Something going on there. Maybe this lady right here. I'm not sure. Perhaps something going on. Cannot confirm. I don't know how anybody's making that many that many Windows sounds with their computer. What are you pressing during a Brood War game that's putting up the Windows sign that much? Is she like tapping shift or something like that? Hitting the sticky key button? I have no idea. I have no idea what that is, but I digress. We get a Spire. 2 Lings in the main. Gonna be confirming everything. Bisu gonna send 1 Zealot across the map. Try to put on some pressure. This also kind of takes the pressure off of himself back at home. He can't micro everything at the same time at a high level. So Soma will probably not go for any probes. Once the Zealots arrive, he'll be forced to be a little bit more defensive, and perhaps the Zealot can actually track things down. Maybe get rid of that. A pair of Lings in the main. With everything heading back home. Oh, actually, Zealot down here in the bottom right. Oh, I thought that went back home for a second. Looks like it's been spotted. Hiding out down there. Gonna hide it underneath the gas. Bisu knows the perfect spot to get the most value out of this unit. Oh, probe. Oh my gosh, she just handles it. No problem. Bisu hasn't lost a single probe since the original in the wall. This guy, absolutely insane with the control. The multitasking, absolutely next level as well. Not going to lose a probe here. And look at how quickly he transfers the probe over to the gas as well. So smooth. Bisu's playing out of his mind, man. Seriously, he is so good. 2 Lings, a lot of times, will just annihilate the economy if the opponent is as good as Soma is, right? You get a couple Lings in there, you kill like 3, 4, 5 probes. He gets 1 finally. Does get 1 finally. But I think that's dead. So 1 probe is all he could do. Oh, but he gets the Corsair. The Corsair goes down. Uh-oh, that's a problem. 1 Corsair dead already. Bisu immediately starts cannons in the natural. In the mineral line. He knows that he's in trouble. He knows that there is a potential for Soma to start building a bunch of mutas. It's not... Oh, he loses another one. Oh my god, 2. 2 Corsairs dead immediately. He needs like 2 or 3 cannons in the main. 2 or 3 cannons in the main, I think, would not be uncalled for here. He does not have a second Stargate. Mutas are going to be super dangerous right now. Only 2 Corsairs back at home. And there's a big wall here for Soma. Zealots are moving out. Speed should be finished here soon. +1 should be finished here soon as well. But this is a scary moment for Bisu. Truly a difficult situation he finds himself in. Immediately the mutas are going to find these Zealots. Immediately going to pick them off. Bisu backing up. He can't really engage here, guys. He can't engage with the Corsairs. He's got to stay back home. Bisu has all the momentum right now with those 2 kills. A lot of drones. He's choosing to just drone out of this. Mutas are going to come forward, look for a couple of kills. He probably won't dive the main, but he could try. He could go for it and just pull back if the Corsairs try to engage. 3 cannons in the main. Okay, that's going to completely deny this. 3 cannons is a lot. That's quite the commitment to cannons here. Commitment to defense from Bisu very high right now. Definitely warranted, though, considering those first 2 losses. It's really rare to see Bisu lose those early courses, but I'm glad to see him reacting appropriately. Taking the necessary steps to make sure that he can survive, to make sure that the defense is good here. Making sure that he has at least the cannons, the requisite cannons, to push the Mutalisk away and prevent a sudden dive into that main base. Now, it looks like Soma's taken this moment to just slam out drones. He's got so many drones now. He should be able to take a 4th base here soon and start to pump Hydras. There's that drone heading out. He's going to take that real nice and early. Pre-10 minutes. 9-minute 40 here. Throws down that 4th base. Hydras en masse going to start to pump out here. 6 hatch Hydralisk production has begun. Bisu doesn't really have a moment to punish this. He doesn't really have an option here when it comes to that. Oh, the DT on the map as well. Oh my gosh, he's going to lose it. That's really rough. Trying to take his 3rd right now, Bisu. I don't know if he can hold this. Not enough Corsairs once again. It's just slowed him down so much in this game, losing those first 2 Corsairs. It really hurts. I wonder if it might have been better to just give up on Corsairs completely and make a Dark Archon when he lost those first 2 Corsairs, because he just doesn't have any momentum here. The critical mass takes so long to achieve. With just 1 Stargate and those first 2 Corsairs down, it's taken him this long to just move forward at all on the map. To finally start to think about taking a Nexus. I think that probe just died. Probe at the 3rd was killed. Bisu has to send another probe out to try and deal with that. 2 Corsairs die. Oh, man. There's only about 4 Corsairs left. I don't know if he can defend these High Templar. It looks like Bisu's going to go for a 2-base timing attack. He has some High Templars here, but no doubt Mutas will be looking for Templar to snipe. 3 High Templar have been left here in the natural. Doesn't want to bring all of them out in case of a dive. He could end up losing everything. He could end up losing all the energy and Templar he's been banking up back at home. So being a little bit tentative here. He's looking to try and take this base. 3rd base is about to go down, but Soma already has drones at that 4th. Not fully saturated, but he's got the gas rolling. Can make a few more drones here, maybe transfer some over from one of these more saturated bases. Mutas are around the backside of this army. He's ready to do a dive here. Soma really spread out on this high ground. He cannot allow... Oh, here comes the dive. Dive onto the High Templar. We're not getting it. We're not getting a shot of it. Unfortunately, Bisu. Ooh, okay. Some High Templar did go down there, for sure. Maybe 1, maybe 2, maybe 3. I'm not 100%, but 2 Templar remain in this army. Just 2 Templar. All the Mutas have been dealt with. Bisu feels like pushing is not an option. Gonna retreat to his own high ground. High grounds are so important on this map. That high ground square in the top left and down here in the bottom right as well. These 2 high grounds are critical for a victory in PvZ. Ooh, I think there's going to be a massive drop. Soma's been showing this a lot lately. He's been showing so much affinity for drop, and he's not going to mix it up here. Putting in a big drop to the main. 3 cannons in the main, though. That's going to buy quite a bit of time for Bisu. Sending back a good portion of his army, but leaving a lot out on the field, actually, to try and chase down this Hydralisk forest. Oh, does he have any storms for this? If he had a storm there, he could have done so much damage. Here's the Nexus going down. Nexus immediately falls. And it's going to take a little while here for Bisu to clear that up. He's just going to go for an attack. He needs to attack here. Not really much of a choice. He's lost the Nexus. He's trying to take another one in the top left. Okay, he's turning around and backing up. Look at how many Hydras have been collected here for Soma. He's ahead in supply. He's killed the main base Nexus. He is going to lose some of these Overlords, but he's continuing with this drop, I think. There's more Hydras about to pop out here, and he's pushing up onto this high ground. Actually, that's just a couple of Hydras, I guess, chasing the army. So he will pull those back. Bisu having a really hard time right now stabilizing however, he does have top left. If he can transfer probes up to there and retake this Nexus, I think he'll be okay. Oh my gosh, he's going to lose this upgrade. The upgrade going to be targeted here. The Forge in that main base. So painful to lose. Bisu might have lost a really critical upgrade there. Drop again into the main. He's just relentless with this over and over again, sending Hydras in. And Bisu has not pulled back the majority of his army, man. He's keeping most of his army in that high ground. Again, the high ground over on top left is so important. You have to hold that position. He cannot allow Soma to get up there with lurkers. And so he's not pulling back his whole army. GG is called. He has no choice. Bisu taps out, and Soma has certainly found a great tactic on this map. Drop really seems to be a powerful move. Wow, what a series, guys. We're here in game number 7 now with Soma in center left here, Bisu center right. This is Jane Doe. What a way to end series for the ages, boys. Bisu and Soma. Pre-ASL 22, if I'm... Am I right about that? It's 22 now, right? Or is it 21? No, it's 22. I'm losing it. Can't even remember what ASL we're on. I'm ashamed. Take my caster badge, boys. I'm too excited for this match here on Jane Doe. Soma gonna open up with a 12 hatchery. Bisu, what's the plan here, my man? Is it time to style on him with some Reaver Corsair play? I'd love to see it. I've been talking a lot about it ever since I saw Stork playing Reaver Corsair on this map. I've seen Mini play it out as well. We've seen Bisu be very successful with this style. It's so good on this map. Reason being, you can take that back natural and very easily defend with Zealots on high ground at that ramp. Skip over your early forage, not get into cannons, get directly into Corsairs. Kill some early overlords and then put the pressure on with Reaver really quickly. Get that third base online. Once you slug it down that ramp and take the third base, everything seems to fall into place. The late game Protoss army is so strong in the mid game. High Templar with Storm plus Reaver and all the other goodies that Protoss can bring together. Oh, okay. One drone right off the bat. That's pretty fantastic for Bisu, actually. Getting this initial drone really puts a lot of pressure onto Soma. It basically makes the fact that he went for a 12 hatch irrelevant. He might as well went for, you know, overpool in this situation. You basically just get an extra larva or two because of the earlier hatchery. It negates the economic advantage of having more drones. So this is pretty good for Bisu. A great start. Are we going to see double Stargate, single Stargate, and are we going to see Reaver behind this? He's already got the Nexus up back at home. You can see just 2 Zealots are going to completely defend him on 2 bases. He's got the Forge now. Gonna be safe, making that Forge after the Stargate so that he can get the cannon online. This is just standard stuff on Jane Doe, guys. It's looking fantastic here for Bisu. Soma not taking a natural. Are we going to see 2 hatch Muta out of him? Just pure Mutalist play. I think so. I think that's the case. Oh my gosh, he's going to lose this Overlord, though. That's so painful. Losing an Overlord this early in the game is going to be monstrous here for Soma. He's already kind of supply blocked here at 26, but this really throws a wrench into things now. He's going to have to build an extra Overlord, which is going to cut into his ability to make Mutalists when the time comes. Bisu has not gone out and scouted this, guys. He's going to send the Corsair out now. But look at how late this 3rd base is. It's really, really late here. And Soma is for sure going to be putting on a lot of pressure with Mutas. It's up to Bisu to get over here, see the timing on the Spire, and kind of realize what's going on here as soon as possible. Start to get cannons back at home. Maybe even start a 2nd Stargate. Let's see. Let's see what his reaction is. I don't know if the 2nd Stargate would even be up in time to kind of be useful here. Maybe just make an extra Dragoon. I'm not so sure. He's checking natural. Look, he sees the 3rd gas. He sees the 3rd gas. That's huge. Huge, huge scout there. And I don't think that Bisu is able to see that he saw. So Bisu doesn't know that, Soma doesn't know that Bisu knows. Dude, he took 1 hit from a Scourge. I would love to see a shield battery here. I would love to see a shield battery from Bisu. 3 cannons in both bases. I think would be the right choice here as well. There's so many moments. Yeah, there's the 2nd Stargate. Oh my god, called it. There we go. 2nd Stargate is so smart here. I'm not saying that I'm a genius. I have full information. I'm looking at everything that's going on, and I would say this is a great move. Bisu with incomplete information scouts what he can see and immediately throws down that 2nd Stargate. He's a genius. He's the genius, not me, guys. Come on. Let's be real here. The double Stargate play is fantastic. Soma is definitely banking on some Mutalist damage. He's definitely banking on getting in here and potentially routing the main. Throwing in 1 Corsair right now. Bisu just wants the scouting information. He throws away 1 Corsair. This is going to bait, I think, Soma into building even more Mutas. He is going to build so many Mutas here. I think he is going to be completely fooled by this play from Bisu. Bisu, despite losing a Corsair, is going to have like 10 in his stack by the time the Mutalists arrive here. This is really going to hurt for Soma, I believe. Soma about to be blindsided by the number of Corsairs that arrive. Okay, 1 Corsair does end up falling, but the Mutas can't really do anything right now. Bunch of emergency sunken colonies being thrown down in the natural. Soma has to be panicking at the moment. He's going to come running forward with some Scourge, but there's the Corsairs of Bisu. A little bit of miss micro there. Bisu takes a shot that he probably shouldn't have. I think it's time to retreat. I think it's time to retreat here, Bisu. You can't take this fight right now. Zealots are going to go in and sacrifice themselves. Another Corsair goes down. He wants to keep this pressure going. He's rallying the Corsairs across the map, trying to keep it rolling here. But I think the Corsairs number is a bit too low. He's got to retreat. He's got to head back home and try to shore up the defenses here. at the third base. There's no Hydralisk attack coming just yet. There's the big kills on all of these Scourge. That's a huge moment. Can he actually get the rest of the Scourge? One or two Corsairs go down in that exchange. So many Scourge have been made here by Soma, and his overall drone count is very low, so I'm still really favoring Bisu in this situation. Does he have the critical mass of Corsairs to fight this again? It doesn't look like it. He pulls back and gets his third base online. Gonna be transferring probes over to that location here in just a moment. Intense game so far. Really scary moments here on either side. Diving onto the cannon in the natural. There's only the one cannon. Can he actually take this fight? Oh, the moving shot on all the Hydras, all the mutas, excuse me, kills everything. He kills everything. Bisu destroys that Mutalisk count. Although he took a few hits from the Scourge, he overwhelms the air. He has control of the air now. He should have enough to two-shot. Oh, he loses another one. He loses more. Soma's still managing to find little connections here and there, despite the overwhelming count of Corsairs. Bisu still taking losses. Soma moving to grab a fourth base now. But can he hold? Bisu has a lot of gateways now. Not as many as he'd like, but he's starting to add on more and more. He should be able to begin an attack here soon. He should have High Templars on the way. Actually, only 4 gateways? I really thought he would have more at this point. I really thought that he would have more, but he should be able to go up to something like 10 gateways relatively soon. No longer making Corsairs. Overlord Speed has done this. DT can't do anything. It's going to be tracked down in the top left. Soma handling that business. Should be able to transfer workers over to this top left here soon. Probably going to mine out that mineral patch in a moment. Fully switched into Hydras. Here's a bunch of Overlords at the natural. There's only 2 Corsairs defending them. And so about 5 Overlords end up falling. 68 of 54. A little bit painful. Another one going down here. Bisu getting the critical Overlord damage that he so well known for with this 2 Stargate play, and sitting back home on 3 bases. I mean, it's still looking good for him, guys. It really is. Another supply block here. 47 supply only. 66 of 47. You're not breaking this natural either, Soma. Another Overlord here. Bisu finding the miraculous Overlord damage that only he can seemingly find. So many other Protoss players will lose their early Corsairs and just kind of fall apart. Oh, killing his own Hydra. That Hydra betrayed him. He had to execute immediately. Soma has a ton of Overlords coming across the map right now, but very few teched out units. Like no lurkers here, no Mutalisk either. I'm expecting a lurker morph at any moment. Is he going for a drop? No way. No way. He's going for a drop right now. It's going to be spotted. He catches it. He sees everything. There's no way this was going to be a drop going into the main, and Bisu just spotted it. All these Scourge end up going down. The Corsairs are still alive. You're not getting in here, Soma. Bisu is an iron wall of Protoss, and he will deny him. That was Soma's real chance here to get something done. A drop into the top right was going to be the one way. It looks like it's been completely denied. A couple Corsairs maybe go down there, maybe 1, perhaps 2, but it's not enough. Soma hoping to clear those Corsairs so you can actually get something done. You're not going to win through a cheeky drop this time, Soma. The full economy and production is now online here. Bisu creating a distraction in the back of Soma's base as well, with a bit of a drop here. At the same time, taking his high ground. Someone not paying attention. Oh my gosh! He's looking at the DT in the main base, I think, and he loses so many Hydras just walking forward. Here comes the drop into the main. Drop into the main at the same time, I think. No, Scourge. It's Scourge in the main. Something was heading into the main, but it wasn't dropships, it's Scourge. Oh my gosh, Soma absolutely crumbling here. As Bisu shoves forward, 50 supply advantage. Lurker eggs being made in front of the Protoss army. This is never a good sign. He will have storms here available and ready. The moment that these burrow, he's going to be storming everything down. He backs up a little bit to the high ground. But, I mean, this is such a good spot to be in. Jane Doe is similar to Match Point in that regard, that these high grounds are insanely important. And once the Protoss is up here, moving forward, skirmishing, and then backing up again is going to be such a good strategy. It's going to allow him to trade out and keep reinforcing over and over and over again and waiting for an opportunity to break this. Soma going to try to press forward, maybe kill a Dragoon or two, but he's going to be met with storms at almost every opportunity. Every type of move like that Soma tries to do, we're going to be seeing him met with storms. More bases going up. Bisu takes bottom right. He's on 4 base to 4 base. I don't know if there's a hive. Even if there is, it might be a little bit late here because Bisu is bearing down. Storms go up. Pretty good run forward and snipe there from Soma, but a bunch of Lurkers fall. A lot of Hydras end up getting crushed. And Bisu starting to push forward little bit by little bit. He needs another round of High Templar to the front here in a moment. Looks like he's going to have that coming up shortly here. But Lings are now being produced. A 5th base on the way. Bisu, I mean, he's just playing this map so well, guys. Look at him. Sitting here on the high ground, he knows that this is such a difficult position for Soma to break. He's kind of tempting him like, hey, man, you better come over here and kill this army. You better find a way to break this high ground. Behind it, he's taken so many bases. Bisu is going to eclipse the base count of Soma with this 5th base coming up. And Soma doesn't really have an option but attack into this. Like, what else do you do? What can you possibly choose to do here as Soma? I guess just waiting for Defiler. Maybe the best option, but he's trying to press forward a little bit. Actually, Bisu going a little bit too far, maybe. I'm not so sure about this. Don't come all the way down here from Bisu. Don't come this far down, Bisu. You might get in a little bit of trouble here. Here comes the Dark Storm finally. Dark Storm will help him to push up this ramp for sure, but is it in time? Bisu has so much map. He has so much control. He's going to start to set up most likely Reavers as well at some of these bases. 5 cannons on the high ground there. 4 cannons over here. Gateway's going to start pumping High Templar in the bottom right. Gateway here going to start pumping High Templar as well. Bisu on 5 gases. I think the third, or the natural gas, excuse me, in the back natural is going to start to run out here soon. The back natural for Soma also going to run dry. So suddenly Soma's just going to be on 3 gases and in a bit of trouble. So he needs to make a move here. He needs to push forward, take this high ground away, force Bisu back, and eventually get this 5th base online. That front base is critical. Staying ahead of the Protoss player is generally what you need to do. Here, it's not as bad with the Hive coming online. Usually, you want to stay at least even on bases, though. Getting behind on bases is just not really a good situation at any time for the Zerg player. There's a storm right on the face, right on the nose, as Soma tries to push forward. Guys, we're in for a great game here. This is going to be ridiculous. Bisu pushing up on high ground. He forces the cancel on the 5th. That's all he needed to do. He doesn't need to do any more than that. But he has given up the high ground finally. Finally, Soma has taken away this high ground position and can start to make some moves. 12 o'clock being taken by Bisu right now. First plague of the game. Dead center on that army. Definitely softening up those Protoss units. Nice storm follow up with the Dragoon shots to finish off the Defiler. Prevent it from just continuously consuming and casting more spells and just dealing more and more damage. So he'll have to build more Defilers get to the front, consume, and continue with this play. Bisu getting baited into the high ground a little bit here. Gotta be careful with that. Okay, Reavers coming forward. He's already got Reavers in this army. Bisu can push through with the Reaver play, even under Darkstorm, but in fact, Soma has not replaced that Defiler. It's finally come up to the front, but it's a bit late to the party. The high ground has already been taken. He needed a Darkstorm on the high ground to try and hold off here, but he doesn't have it, and now Bisu's back up on the high ground once again. This is a painful spot for Soma now. He's got to find a way. Got to find a way to surround this army. He's coming up from the backside, bringing up a bunch of links. Some Darkstorm can come out here. Plagues can come down as well. I don't see them just yet, but storms are raining on this flanking army. Bisu backs away with the Reaver shuttle. Keeps that alive. Big plague there from Soma. Getting that juicy chili sauce. Getting that chili sauce all over the double Reaver. That's a huge moment. That should help him to actually clear those two Reavers. I don't see a Dark Archon just yet. Maybe Bisu, not planning to build one. We'll see. Drone comes to top center. I think that might have been the first time that Soma actually sees that base, so he's going to be unhappy about that. He's been behind in bases for quite some time. Another plague on these Reavers. These Reavers have already been plagued. Immediately, Bisu steals the high ground. He's going to kill this 5th base. He's denied it again. I think the writing's on the wall here. Soma cannot stand up to Bisu this game. He just cannot keep up. Not with this much of a lead. Even with his incredible micro in the late game. The numbers are just not on his side here. So many storms are available. So many Reavers as well. He can go back and pick up another 2, 3 Reavers. Look at that. 3 Reavers at the 3rd base. So many Archons and Dragoons and Zealots at the natural as well. Once he reinforces here, he's going to have a full 70 supply advantage to potentially push Soma back with. Soma needs to make some big moves, and he needs to do it now. He's pushing forward here against this army, but every trade is inefficient. The Reavers are killing so much with that splash damage under the Dark Swarm. It's just about over here. Soma can't even take a 5th base. He's not even attempting to send a drone over to that position. He knows he just has to get up here. He's got to get up here and break this location right now. He's making the best effort that he can for this attack, but he can't make it happen. And GG is called. There it is, boys. Soma taps out, and man, Bisu absolutely smashing it in this series. What a fantastic match. Such a great follow-up to our earlier video this week with Bisu versus Soma. Lovely to see these guys play on the brand new map, guys. Shout out to everyone in the Patreon, everyone who supports this channel, who helps me to do games like this, series like this, every single day to bring you guys Pro League and these Chinese series along with the ASL, SCSL, and everything else I'm doing right now. Shout out to you guys. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe. Leave a comment. Let me know which game was your favorite, and I'll see you in the next video.